Greetings to you. Well, today is Tuesday, and just about 3 weeks to V-Day. 3 weeks to V-Day. Not Vagina Day. Not Vagina Day. I know a lot of you are twisted. D-Day, V-Day, as in voting day. Voting day. And we have a lot to do. So everything. We cannot take anything for granted. At least I'm not. So therefore, though it may not make sense to some extent, I have to talk about it. It makes sense to some people. So I have to talk about it. It's not unusual to draw conclusions when certain things seems unnatural. Then you tap into your conspiracy self just to give yourself a reason, a workable reason as to why things appear the way they do. That's the only comfort that you can find yourself comforted by. The fact that you can escape a certain reality into that private area in your mind and come up with something that's logical to you, that's workable. And most of the time, you may not be the only person that may have conceptualized that idea. Because human beings, we have a tendency to transmit, telepathically transmit thoughts and ideas. So while you might be thinking of something, there are people around you who might very well be thinking the same thing. And you would think they stole your idea, but they haven't. It just happened that they were thinking the same thing that you were thinking. It's possible. It is possible. So when you get a thought, don't dwell on it too long. Make a note of it. Keep it there. And if it seems like it's a thought that can take you places, get it copyrighted. Because somebody else might be thinking the same thing and they may not see the value in the thought because they're just browsing it. But if you see the value, get it registered, own it. Then you know that nobody can steal that idea. So I was browsing my mind and I thought to myself, what is the magnet? What is this thing? I mean, here you have two individuals. They want to be billionaire, and the medically obese cousin of Aubrey Norton, Odessa Primus. That's her name? I mean, it's kind of similar to the, you know, the robot that came in that movie that a lot of kids like to watch, Transformers. The Transformers movie, you know, one of the robots that was huge. Is it a coincidence? I mean, that movie was recently. It was not long ago. But this Odessa woman, she's like what, in her 60s. So maybe somebody saw the future and thought that having her carry that last name might well bear fruition in the future, because Primus is somehow synonymous with obese people, and obese obesity is a medical condition. There ain't nothing cute about it. Ain't nothing cute about it. Fat can be sexy. Obese is a disease. That's somebody who is medically challenged, and a diet alone can't help them. It's like Norton. Cosmetics can't help him. Makeup can't help him. Plastic surgery can't help him. He was cursed with ugliness. This other woman, his cousin, Odessa, oh, I find the word I was looking for. You see, whenever you talk about these people, you get stupid. I found the word I was looking for. Primitive. Odessa primitive. That's the word. Because back in the day, the Neanderthals, way before civilization appeared, way before people understood that human beings can come in different forms, and one of those forms that humans can come in, it's beauty. At that time, they were all ugly, primitive. So that's where she came from. She was rebirthed into this time. She has the bloodline of Aubrey Norton. I wonder what tribe they're from. It got to be a tribe, because there aren't many of his kind or her kind in Guyana. I mean, there are a lot of obese people, and obesity is a lifestyle disease, and it's because you're greedy. You're a glutton. You need help. But obesity coupled with ugliness, that is not a lifestyle. That's a curse. You got to be born ugly. And I understand that some people who are unpleasant, their depression, the fact that they are self-withdrawn, and you know, they kind of have a low self-esteem, they comfort themselves with junk food. And junk food releases toxin in their bodies. And the toxin is what messes with their cells and affect their metabolism, whereby slowing it down and giving them the cravings of hunger, so they can just eat more just to feel good about themselves. But the food that they're eating is not feeling good, going down their throat. Food of itself, junk food, especially junk food looks attractive. The difference is it lacks consciousness. If junk food was conscious and junk food understood who was eating it, digesting it, people like Aubrey Norton and Odessa Primus would have fucking diarrhea every day when they feast on the junk food. Because the junk food will say, "Are you serious? You're putting me in that fucking mouth? I need to get out this shitty hole as fast as possible." They would have a continued flow of diarrhea. Maybe it will be good for her to lose weight. Then she only have to deal with the ugliness. But it's two evils. Three, related to Aubrey Norton: obesity, which is a disease, and fucking ugliness, which is a curse. Those three she has to deal with. Anyway, welcome to Dr. Love Prasad Uncensored. I'm your precious gift. I'm here to let you understand Guyana is in safe hands. And don't take it for granted. Do for your country, because your country has done for you. And this September, make Guyana great again. Do for your country by voting for the PPP/C. I wanted to say PPP/C because Nagamutu somehow browsed through my mind. Then I realized I'm PPP Civic, part of the PPP. So I can very well say PPP slash C. Anyway, so I don't understand what's the complex. Because is it because Azruddin Mohammed is sanctioned, that as a result of being sanctioned and wanted by the system, and the fact that he has found refuge amongst the lowlifes and the scraps in the ghetto, that usually this is how this scenario works. If you put two people in the jungle, a woman that's a junkie, she's a known junkie, terrible, nasty, stinking, and a man who is an elite, put them in the jungle. All they have access to is fruits and water to drink and shower, nothing else. You leave them there. There is nowhere for them to get off the island. No alcohol. After a while, when that elite man, when that upscale man that wouldn't in any way even give the leftover from his mouth to that junkie woman, when he spends nights, weeks, months without access to his kind and his taste of pussy, and the only thing that's available is that junkie that he knows is a junkie, a stinking junkie. The difference is she don't have a disease, she's just a nasty junkie. Trust me. After a while, his mind would begin to play tricks on him. His eyes would transform that junkie woman, that nasty woman, into the most beautiful, gorgeous virgin on the island. And he is going to make love to that bitch as if he's the first man for her. He would not worry about sex. He's like, give me this pussy. Desperation. That's what it does. Desperation. People in desperate situations, their brain stops functioning. Their eyes starts to cannibalize reality onto themselves. Because under normal circumstances, those men would not go around with women like that. The other scenario that does that to people is the only way prostitutes earn money prostituting is from men that are extremely fucking drunk. That their vision is so fucked up. It happens to women too. The guy that woman would not normally fuck, she's like, hell no, you can't be. I'll call the cops. Get her drunk. When she's drunk and he's the only dick available, he's gonna be, in her eyes, he's gonna become fucking Dr. Love. He's gonna become this Prince Charming. And she would fuck the shit out of him. Because her vision is messed up, her mind is messed up. Alcohol. Men do it too. Man who's drunk, when he's high, he's drunk. He has no idea as to what's real or what's not. This is how they get disease. Because they would go with men pretending to be women, homosexual prostitutes, pretending to be women. And when they target those men that just came out of the rum shop or the club, drunk as hell, pissing drunk they call it. They can't even stand up. Pissing drunk means they piss themselves up. They are so drunk that they urinate on themselves. Those kinds of men are the ones that these homosexual prostitutes target. And these guys think that these men are women. And they go and they perform buggery on these men. And that's how they get diseases and take it back to their wives. When they sober up and you approach them, they want to fight with you. They would bring down hell on you if you tell them that that's what they just did last night. Can't believe it. No, it's not possible. Yeah, it's possible. You're fucking drunk. That's why you don't drink to that extent. So I heard that Azruddin Mohammed, being from a palace, he grew up in a palace, never had any contact with the ghetto until his sins came up with him, and the Big Apple exposed his crime. Reuters let the world know that Guyana has the best criminal in the history of Guyana and put him on the map. Until then, and he realized that the Indo community of Guyana largely hates criminals. They would leave your ass outside. Hey, no, don't come in here with that kind of criminal mentality. No, 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 stay the fuck there. The Indo-Guyanese community largely don't want anything to do with criminals or people who commit crime. So Azruddin Mohammed realized that he's all alone. He's like, shit, my own people don't want anything to do with me because, after all, I'm a bad person. I'm a terrible, terrible person. He did what most criminals do. Turn to the ghetto. Turn to the not unsuspecting. They know exactly what they're doing. Turn to the hungry bellies in the ghetto, the scraps, the lowlifes, the vagabonds, the lunatics, the pea-brain, pinhead imbeciles of the ghetto, and realizes that they don't use their brain. They're so fucking ignorant, they don't understand that there's something called school. They hate the idea of picking up a book the same way a lot of the slaves hated the idea of being free. So he realized that, oh, there is this class of Negroes, they're always ready to rescue a criminal. And he turned to the ghetto. And as he thought, exactly what happened. The thing about turning to the ghetto is that the women want to sleep with you. That's a welcoming gesture. It's like certain tribes in Africa. You go to those tribes, they're glad to see an outsider. They're like, fuck, we're not used to seeing people that looks different and smell good. So come, what do you want? Pussy, which, anything, take on. And they welcome you like that. The ghetto does the same thing. See why you got to be careful when you're fucking around women from the ghetto? Because they give the pussy easily. They pass it around. It's like, hey, welcome, take the pussy. That's why they have all these kids. I'm coming to that just now. But let's talk about how Azruddin found himself in this mess. Yeah, it's mess that he's in. So after nobody else wants anything to do with him, because people don't want to be caught up in his crimes, that shit is huge. Sanction? Oh my gosh, that is terrible. You can go broke being sanctioned. That's it. That's a sentenced. It's for the living dead. You're alive, but still you're dead. You can't do anything. You just breathe because that's all you can do. You go to the ghetto. The ghetto welcome him, and he got, as a gesture, free pussy. But just like the story, the scenario I use when you lock two people away in the jungle, a man upscale, a woman junkie, after a while she appears to be beautiful to him. Here we can say that Azruddin is that man. And he was cast out, exiled in the ghetto of reality, in that he cannot be a part of the normal society anymore because of his crimes. He's locked out, outcast. Yeah, reduced. So he now has to make the best of what's available to him. And since no woman in her right mind, well, I guess his wife don't have a choice. She wouldn't leave the money. She's not sanctioned. So it's like, what the heck? So he's not getting the regular high class Venezuelan prostitutes he's used to. They don't want to take his money. They're afraid to even take the sanctioned money. Like, hey, no, we got to work this pussy everywhere. So we take your money, we can have sanction on the pussy. Again, the ghetto rescues him at the level to which he stooped. A little piece of Indian boy who was trying with those slutty Venezuelan Brazilian that illegally crossed the borders into Guyana. At least they could have accommodated him. Look where he decided to go. Look at the challenge. Are you kidding me? I mean, black men refuse that rhino that you are. And you want to show these niggas that, hey, you refuse this bitch, I'm going to show you that I don't judge. My dick don't discriminate. I ain't got a racist dick. Since when? However, there we are. This billionaire that under no circumstances in the past would have even thought of getting so close. He didn't believe it was possible. It's like, how the fuck did I get here? How did I get here? Those are his thoughts. He claims he doesn't drink. He's never used drugs. Then what can explain the position he finds himself in? That he's all up in bed and arms with that sick female. She's sick. I mean, she's obese, and that's a disease. So yes, by her condition, she's sick. You mean his money can't get him something decent and lookable? So if he is in his consciousness and can associate himself in that intimate way with that terrible looking giant of a pussy, what is he on? Azruddin, tell me what you are on so I can avoid whatever drink it is that you're drinking. Because I don't use alcohol, no substance. But it could be some branded water that you're drinking. And I might think, well, water is water. I probably would see it in the shop and say, this is water. Let me try because the billionaires drink it. So let me just buy it. I don't want that side effect that you're having from whatever is it you're drinking. Look at the side effect. You consider Odessa Primer as hot and sexy. I don't want that side effect because I'm seeing in my normal sober mind, I'm seeing that, fuck, no. If I happen to be the rich guy in the jungle with a junkie that looks like that, let me tell you what I will do. The option I would take is this. Bitch, I know you're a junkie. Be that desperate. So this is what I'll do from now. I'll confess and I'll become a monk. And I'm going to pray the hell away and become this guru that I can suppress whatever sexual desires I used to have affected me before. So even if it's 10 fucking years, I am a monk. I have no sexual desire. You better don't come next to me because I'll lay my hand on you and I'll convert you. So your pussy dries up and stays dry. I would take the option. But you see, Azruddin Mohammed is not that smart. Not that smart. Desperate times call for sick, obese, ugly women from the ghetto. Good for you, Azruddin. You did bad. You said that your family turned against you because you went down to the fake murder case that they tried to take advantage of about that child. Why are we still mentioning her? Anyway, you guys need to talk about that so you can still somehow get some whatever sympathies left. But your family didn't turn against you because you went down there amongst the mob and those vagabonds in Tushin who burned down that man's place, destroyed the Indians' property and attacked them. No. They turned against you because they were warning your parents a long time about your tendencies. They saw that ghetto in you. They saw it a long time and they were warning your parents, keep him away from those Negroes. Keep him away from those Negroes. Unfortunately, you like a house dog, you see them smelly street dogs walking around and you're horny. You dig a hole under the fence, crawl your way out, and throw those bitches in the road. You tasted some, and you realize, fuck the billionaire lifestyle. This pussy is good. Remember they have the saying, you don't go back if you go black. You have made that saying come alive. You thought you could have kept it a secret. No, you are waiting for an opportunity to be sanctioned. So you have, this thing to say, no, you see, they rejected me. My family is against me because I associated with, no, that's a sham. Just like how you're putting all these stupid things that this is because of this and this is because of that. No, you're a fucking idiot. You wanted to be sanctioned. So you have an excuse to go and chill in the ghetto. Yes. Because you need the pussy. You do. I mean, it's your dick. So if you are in love with obese women, good for you. You have the money, you can afford to maintain it. I mean, shit, just open a restaurant and all your troubles are gone. Put her as the chief chef. Put her as the taste chef. The person who has to taste the food before you can, you know what, this is good. That's your maintenance there. Now, what? You think I'm fat shaming? That woman isn't fat, she's fucking obese. There's a difference. I think fat is plus size. That's sexy. That is sexy. When you talk about fat, you're seeing a nice round or flat or square belly. That's fat. That's sexy. Obese is abs like 3 section, fucking tires. That's obese. There's nothing sexy about that. She wants to dress as if she's fat. No, fucking Odessa, you're not fat. You're fucking obese. From your face right down, you are obese. You need help. President Ali has put systems in place where you can have free medical care. Go on a diet. I mean, they can help you. Your billionaire boyfriend can pay for it. You can't leave the country, I forgot. But Guyana has private institutions that you can get therapy. You can go to rehab. Avoid the junk food for a while. Both of you belong together. Yeah, seriously. He has nowhere to go, and neither do you. Did I spill the beans, Azruddin? Have I done that? I mean, your story is out there. I'm not the only one who knows that kind of stuff. I'm not. It's good that you want people to think that you're not a racist. But if it was not for your crimes, you would not find people like Odessa Primus as being sexy. You wouldn't. You would do what you always did. Them niggas are so ugly. Yes, that's your style. That's what you are known to say within circles. The people you think are your people, those are the remarks you often make. Shit, they're nasty, they're ugly. Oh my God, shit. I would even pay these bitches to suck my dick. Yeah, those are things you usually say amongst your circle. And since your circle ain't no longer your circle, they're talking. They're saying, look at these stupid ass Negroes. They really think that guy gives a shit? If they knew how he used to talk about them. But now that he's a criminal, he just would hang with criminals. Typically, that's what they do, right? Run to the ghetto for cover. And after Caesar, was it Caesar? No. After Herod. Now, I ain't gonna go there. I was going to make a comparison, but I am not going to go there. That would be very disrespectful. Then Satan came to Jesus and said, serve me, and I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world. And Jesus says, get the fuck behind me, Satan, for I only serve Almighty. Azruddin is an agent of the devil. He came to Jesus' people, the Guyanese people, and he's them like yesterday. I am ordering you. You didn't catch that part? Yeah, you should catch it. That's how Massa talks to his slaves. Can you imagine that? These fucking Negroes are so stupid, so not even delusional. That is beyond delusional. Is when you are in a different world. You know, you're like thinking. Stupid is illiterate, numbnut. I mean, fish brain. I mean, yeah. Stupid is not the opposite of being smart. It's the enemy of being smart. Them stupid Negroes cheered when this idiot said, I am ordering you. I'm not asking, I'm ordering you to go out in September. He is begging for votes, but he's ordering them scraps to go vote for him. And I want people to think that he hasn't paid them. The only way you can talk with that amount of authority is when you know you have something on the people you are communicating to, or you're paying them. So you know that, hey, they can't say no, they can't be objective, they can't be pompous. So you say, hey, I am ordering you to do it. They can't say, who the fuck you talking to? No, they say, you took my money, so I can talk to you how the fuck I want to talk to you. Now that's how gangsters talk to their thugs. Get out and do it. That's how pimps talk to their prostitute. Hey, bitch, go bring me that money. And in the wide open, at an area, the center of Georgetown criminal enterprise, Sophia, where if you want to learn to be a thief, and that's your intention, all you have to do is to walk through the streets of Sophia. And when you come out at the other end, you're a graduate. You can go thief after that. That area that he could have afforded to pay maybe 500 people. Maybe 500 people. He could have afforded to pay them to come out. Them niggas he's ordering. Imagine that. And they stand there. They stood there. Shameless. They don't have a conscience. They're the lowest of the low. They ain't got a fucking conscience. You can even spit on them. They'll smile. They stood there and cheered when he says, I'm ordering you. These are niggas who are cussing the president, who are talking about making people feel like they're worth nothing. And their boss, the sanctioned criminal billionaire, is talking down at them. And they're happy about it. They have no idea what is an insult from a compliment. He was insulting them, and he himself had no fucking idea what he was doing. He was just being himself. And being himself, he was like, this is how I would normally talk to these niggas. I ordered them. So he was just doing what he do best. Failing to realize the backlash it will have as to how it appears. He didn't know that. He's that stupid. But they accepted it. They took it in. They laughed at his lousy jokes. They cheers at his useless, weak points. They stood and listened to his childlike voice that is underdeveloped. The man is a fucking mental handicap. He needs therapy. I am all for handicapped people. I would sponsor, help pay for programs that would help to, revitalize or rehabilitate people who are handicapped if they're born that way. So this is not about me shaming the man because he's mentally handicapped. No, I'm just pointing it out. And because of the fact that he's mentally handicapped, it's not possible for him to even construct the thought that he's insulting people instead of having a conversation or a discourse. But that's exactly what he's been doing. And because he's paying them, they don't care. There are a lot of women who subject themselves to that. Because they're hustlers, because they're lowlifes, because they're scums, they would stay with men who beat up on them, who treat them worse than they would treat a dog. But because they get to live in a big fancy house, they get to drive a big car, they get to eat junk food, they smile. When he's shitting on them, they take it because the lifestyle he gave them is worth it. And then there are women who are raised right. Women who understand, they see their fathers treating their mothers with dignity and pride. Those women, you don't dare put your hand on them. They don't care what the fuck you are. You can be the president or whoever. You put your hand on them, they would return a favor and then fuck your life up. Because they know their value. And definitely, they would not be a part of such a crowd in that scum of a ghetto to listen to that idiot tell them, I am ordering you to go and vote September 1st. Go early and vote for when I'm ordering you. No. Women that were raised properly wouldn't subject themselves to that. They wouldn't be listening to that fool just because he got some money. That's it. They're not impressed. I mean, I'm impressed because there are a lot of things I need to achieve, and I can't do it without money. Like that mansion he has, I want to build one like that, but I can't do it without the money. The difference is, I've said this on many occasions, I am never okay. Seems like I have some internet issue here. Let's pause a bit. Yeah, I am never going to go down that road to involve myself, my name, to have that kind of stain on my life, on my children, for money. No, I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. It's a curse that never goes away. But he did what he had to do. And here he is now. So when this idiot talked about his 500 people that showed up because they received 50,000 to listen to him ramble and babble and listen to him push to them that he's smart, he's a mental handicap. Now he said, give me 1 second. I need to switch this internet. I see I'm getting some issues here. Okay. I'm still here. The fucking internet again. I'm still here. I have to keep switching between internet, switching. And the thing about it is that I'm using a data cable. Fucking data cable. I'm using that in another system. It's a shithole fucking. Anyway, you see why the Americans are condemning us and talking bad about us here? You see why? This is why the people in the different countries are looking down on these countries and calling them third world systems. Because they do not invest, they do not make an effort to provide better service. This is why. They charge you a whole lot of money and then they hold you responsible for not getting the proper service. Every day they tell you to buy this, you have to invest in this, you gotta get this, you gotta get this, all kinds of fucking equipment. When the main problem is the service they're providing. You can't do anything about it. So if they're giving you a weak service, no matter what equipment you install, that's what you're getting from them. Your equipment can't make a difference. If the service provider is giving you shitty service, you can't do anything. I have to say these things because this is terrible. And I'm not the only one. I talk with a lot of people who are doing streaming and do it, and they tell me the same thing. One guy told me, see, I'm distracted. I'm going off topic now. But one guy who's a huge fan, he also has a streaming platform and he works with a TV station. And he was telling me, he says, I heard you complaining sometimes and you're cussing these telecom companies. He said, yeah, this is a TV station. He says, we have state-of-the-art mixers and all this kind of stuff. He said, but our problem is the fucking internet. He says, I know. When I heard him, like, oh my gosh, he's also having an issue. And then the guy, he says, why don't you try streaming from your mobile data. And then he says, oh, no, 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 no. We tried that too, and it's fucking shitty. So I said, then what's the alternative? He says, well, you have to hope that the weather is fair and the sun is very hot, because if you have some bad weather, like the rain is falling, then you're screwed. And yes, the rain is, it's cloudy outside, the rain is falling. And so my folks, I have to let you know, because when you're having these break in transmission and you get in these static and these buffering and all those kinds of stuff and all this thing on the screen with the video, is the internet. Not from me. If I show you the things I have, if I show you the apparatus I have, I can't do anything about it. The only alternative now is to pre-record, then upload. What's the point in that? I like live, I like the challenge, I like the stimulation. Being live is a challenge. It means you have to be scripted, you have to be on target, you can't be fucking around. Your brain got to be good. You got to be consistent, continuous. And look around you, browse the internet. I want you to, all these people who go so-called, call themselves podcasters or influencers, all of them, look at the kind of people that talks without images, videos, to help them with their topic and their talking point, continuously for 1 hour, 2 hours, not repeating themselves or reading from a script. Look how many people can do that. If not all of them, they have a monitor in front of them with a script. They're showing videos and they're commenting on the videos and they're showing this, commenting on this, because it takes, you got to be good. You really got to be good to do what I'm doing. Your brain got to be functioning. You got to think as you talk. So this is the challenge I like with live. Everything I do live. With the radio, television, for me, it's always live. I don't want this old weak, boring stuff to, edit and all, man. Let me use my brain as long as I can do it. Let me challenge myself. So let's go back to the idiot. Now, the 500 people that he had within his group, and that goes around because they were claiming that the PPP recycles people. But if you look at the images in the crowd that usually follows that fool, same set of people. You would think that they're AI generated. Well, they are real, but when you look at the fact that they look the same, you want to think that maybe it's animation with a big screen and it's a stage, movie set where the same people are there. All they do, they put on a wig, put on a braille glasses, and they change from time to time. But this 500 people, that idiot had the nerves to say, the audacity to say, WIN is the only party that represents all Guyana. And he used a word that surprised me. I'm like, damn, this fool is not that stupid. He knows some words. Yeah, he used a word like ethnic. I had to write it down. I couldn't believe my eyes and my ears. I'm like, wait, Mohammed just used a word to say ethnic group. He probably had to spend the whole week memorizing that word for it to stick, because when you are mentally disabled, nothing sticks. You can't think on your feet. I mean, the guy talked for like 2 minutes, and already he was looking at the crowd to see who's going to throw some points back to him. There are a few people in the crowd who has a script. And this Odessa obese told them, Well, you know our boss is stupid, right? You know he's an idiot. But don't tell him that. So when you notice that he has some speech impairment, make some suggestions. Shout like, yeah, rigging. Shout like, yeah, government this. Shout it out. Then he catches that and he would repeat it. So he wouldn't look bad. That's what they're doing. So you find every time he makes a sentence and he's talked about, yeah, I'm going to give you 50% increase in salaries, and he's searching his mind because it's blank now. That's all he memorized. And he's like, 50% increase in salaries, yes, 50%. Odessa signals, hey, shout, shout. Yes, and the police are corrupt. Yes, and the police are corrupt. So there's 500 people that supposedly represents the diversity of the Guyanese community and the ethnic groups. This is what he's talking about. 90% of that crowd are scraps from the ghetto. Low life, hungry belly, garbage tumbling scraps. 90%. 1% are coolie. Low life, pea brain, rum drinking, walking, pissing, coolie. 1% in that equation. 3% are Amerindians who wants an opportunity to see what a city looks like. So he brings them from the bush and say, hey, this is the city, but you have to be with me throughout this journey. Give them some food, put them in a shack and say, okay, stick around there. 3% of that ethnic diversity are hardcore criminals. Some of whom the police are looking for, some who did their crimes, and they need to be part of something because they get some free money to go and smoke some cocaine and whatever it is they do. And the other 1%, that's like 1, 3 and 3, 6%. Then we have the 2%, then we have 1% more. The 1% is prostitutes. Prostitutes. Because after all, you need some groupies. You need some groupies. And prostitutes, they scream in front of the camera. They scream. They have this hideous look about them. They scream. You have to put on a mouth cap on your teeth when you're dealing with those prostitutes, because if they scream to your face and one of those pebbles, those dick-sucking, ass-licking pebbles spill out their mouth and land on your teeth, immediately tooth decay. Tooth fucking decay. No amount of mouthwash can save you from that. Now, those are the people that he says represents Guyana. He's the only party that represents the entire Guyanese population. Yeah. And you know what is even more embarrassing? Not to me, to him. That his general secretary, that visa lying, yeah, she went to America and then decided, she said, fuck it, I want to go back home to serve the prince of the ghetto. The sanctioned woman, that woman, his general secretary, and most likely his prime ministerial candidate, just like the Aubrey Norton's Amerindian sex. Aubrey Norton's Moses Nagamutu, Amerindian Director Fernandez, who was Moses Nagamutu's secretary. You know what? Leave that. Yeah, his prime ministerial candidate, Odessa Primitive, she is so embarrassed now to be seen or likened onto the group that is sucking up to her boss that she almost never wears the WIN logo or uniform. She never does. I wonder why. I mean, it's a jersey and a jeans, right? And blue. Blue is a good color. Blue is my color is blue. Blue is about peace, calm, elite, upscale, royalty. I'll teach you something else here. Look on the global stage. Look on the global stage, especially when it comes to politics and government. What is the most dominant color of choice for kings, presidents, leaders, politicians, senators, congressmen? What is the color? Blue. Have you ever wondered why? Look at all the major networks, CNN, ABC, Fox News. What is the dominant color on this screen? Blue. Have you ever wondered why? Only billionaires, most European, wear blue. Because blue represents royalty. Blue also represents hope. Blue calms the eyes. Blue relaxes the nerve. It dispels aggression. There's a long thing about blue, but I'll stop there. This is also why you find most police forces around the world incorporate the color blue in their uniform, because blue does something to the brain, calms you down. So when you wear blue, people trust, they listen, they stay focused, because it does something to the brain. Azruddin would not know that. He just randomly choose the color. He wouldn't know what I just said, because you got to be a genius to know what I just said. Or maybe there are some people who are telling him, hey, this color. But I can tell you that was a smart move. However, his B in chief, the woman in chief, doesn't want to wear it. Because if she wears the blue, it means that she's on the same level with everybody else. And she's like, I ain't done with them scraps. I ain't done with that fucking ghetto. I'm Odessa Primus. I am not dressing in the same color those niggas are dressing in. Count me in, but out of the color. And she wants people to think that she's with Win and she's in the camp of her boss, her relationship, and she's not proud to wear the color everywhere. You're going to campaign, but you're dressing like you're in the office. You're not a teacher. You're not a sex. I mean, you're on a campaign trail. It's hot at night sometimes. Dressing like that wouldn't make you look good. You look really ugly because it spans your body like that. All the tire handles are coming out, and that's very unattractive. And nothing they say make any sense. You're coming to campaign and you're talking about what? Single mothers in Sophia? Look where they live. Sophia has sections that you have people that are really trying, So they try to go and associate themselves with the progress part of Sophia or the PPP part of Sophia. But if the Negroes there want to stay in their condition, they make one kid for a fucking lowlife. They don't have any education. They have no skill. They can't even do janitorial work because they've never done anything in their life other than eat and pick on other people because they live in a camp with 100 people. Not even that. They're going to make 2 kids for a scrape and a vagabond. That's not enough. Isn't it time for you to like, hey, you know what? Go get a skill. Develop yourself. Yeah, I know women enjoy making babies. I get it. I'm not saying not to make babies. What I'm saying is you make one and you're fucking struggling. You're struggling PNC time. Now you're getting all these grants. And you're thinking, hey, 100,000, I'll go make more kids. But your situation hasn't changed because you have not taken advantage of the benefits, the programs the government has brought. Imagine now President Ali has to go get your fucking sons and manually take them and give them a skill. Because all the programs that are advertised, they're not interested. They like the idea that they can steal and rob and blame it on somebody else. And this Odessa and this idiot are encouraging these people in their stupidity and their poverty to say, hey, it's good, stay poor, so we have something to complain about. Make more babies. And say the government is not helping single mothers to take care of their kids. Stop fucking. Yes, give the pussy a break. This is one time I would suggest a fucking dildo to single mothers who have 10 kids. Get a fucking, if you can't buy it, use a cucumber. Or a fucking eggplant. Because your fingers might be too small. After all them dicks you've been trading. But stop fucking. No sense say you're going on a pill because a lot of you conveniently forget to use the pill. Or, oh no, I can't use a pill because I have reactions. I'll get fat. I guess that's what Odessa have been using. Because she got to blame that size on something. So I guess maybe she's been on the pill. It's not a scientific fact. I'm just repeating what I keep hearing. That's why they don't want to use a pill. So they're like, no, and if I get pregnant, I'm not aborting it. Good, keep fucking making babies. But don't blame it on Ali. He just got here. Your kids are like from 10 up. He just got here. Now he's offering, and now you're like, okay, the PNC didn't give anything. Maybe I can still taste the 100,000. So I'll go make a kid every year. So the 5 years Ali is here is 500,000. Stop encouraging these lowlifes just because you want votes. Encourage them to get a job. Go learn something. University is free. And all this shit about, and this thing you said, Azruddin Mohammed, you know, you're so stupid. You are so fucking stupid. You should have a coach tell you what to say before you get in front of the mic. You are so stupid. I mean, it's unbelievable as the Indian people are smart. Indo-Guyanese are smart. And one of the talents that Indo-Guyanese have is talking. Talking. They would talk you and bring you round and round and round. And when they're finished with you, you would sign the fucking check and say, boy, I'm so entertained. Take the money. This is one Indo-Guyanese who has money that is so fucking stupid, man. The guy opens his mouth and you're like, do I have to listen to this shit? I had to listen to this shit today. And trust me, I'm depressed. I said I wouldn't cuss, right? Remember I said that yesterday. I said yesterday I wouldn't cuss. Blame Mohammed. Blame Mohammed. Because I listened to a piece of his stuff today and that's it. I'm like, fuck it. You can't deal with these guys talking nice. Cuss is the only way out. That's therapy. This fucking idiot talks about how the police force is so corrupt. that they put tail on him so they can report everywhere he goes. Aren't all the people conducting campaign get police escorts and protection? All the people, right? Because to avoid confrontation, that's why they get the police ain't going to spy on anybody. You have a campaign rally, that's a part of the deal. The police has to go to keep the order because you may have elements from other parties going to make trouble. That's why the police are there. Don't think you're that special, you stupid fool. You're not that special. But this is how he has implicated the police in his bullshit. But they don't know the police are on my side. They call me, hey, Azruddin, listen, we were given orders that you're going to be in Sophia, but don't worry, we have your back. How the fuck can you come and say something like that? People are already saying the police are corrupt. You are now making this allegation that the police who supposedly were put there to monitor you and spy on you, that they are in your camp and you are going to win all the votes from the joint services. Imagine you are saying that. You have all this confidence that you know for sure that all military, police, fire service, all them officers who had to undergo training, who had to have had a certain amount of academia to get into the service, those people who know the law are going to vote for you. And you just betrayed the one you think that you have under your paycheck by saying publicly that they leak information to you. That's what you said live. That the police called you in advance to say, hey, we were told to. That's what you just said on your campaign, Sophia. Suppose if that police group who are told to go there as protection to keep the peace, suppose if they're called, if it's 10, 20 of them, their bosses say, hey, all of you come, give me your phones. And the bosses browse their phone to see what number were called and when. And the persons who called you, Mohammed, got fired. Suppose if that happens, then what? You didn't think this through, did you? You have friends in the force and you're going to come and brag about it because you give them some handouts. They're leaking information to you. You're saying it. Who does that? You really have to be an idiot, man, to have police who are leaking information to you and then come out and say that, hey, police are leaking information to me. You have to be really fucking stupid. Oh, yeah, you are. You are. You can put those police's jobs at risk. They can lose their pension because if they're caught leaking information, they can lose their pension, they can be fired and dismissed just because of your mouth. You want to be impressive. Yeah, I'm Azruddin Mohammed. I have the cops in my pay. You don't say things like that, man. You don't say things like that. Anyway, we'll continue this on the next live. Remember, do for your country what is right. And what is right for Guyana is for you, the Guyanese citizen, to vote in September on the PPPC. That's your gift to your country. Until next time. Forgive the little problems with the internet. I have no control over that. Be patient. We have a new president in Suriname. Maybe she will make some improvements. Maybe. Let's wait and see. But for now, thanks for your support. And for those persons who want to continue to support what I do, then you have to get to, what is the number? You have to contact me on this number. Let me see if I can get it for you. You got a pen there? Write this number down. There is a number. Yeah. Take a pen. Write this number that I'm giving now. It is 597 597. That's the area code. 831 831 9179. That is 831 9179. 831 9179. Yes, 597. That number is only for the people who would like to support. Only for the people. I'm not just giving the number for a person to call me and give me a headache. Just if you would like to support, that's the number you contact me on via app, WhatsApp, and I'll give you more details. But don't take it if you have no intentions to be a supporter. Just leave it as that. But thank you very much. I'll see you again on the next live. Goodbye.